Hello. So this is a video that I'd like to sort of put out because what happens is when someone records and you're trying to edit a recording, it becomes extremely difficult for a variety of reasons. Now, this is a great interview done by Jesse Green, Dr. Jesse Green, for a really cool podcast that he's putting together, and I'm very excited about it. Now, just a couple of things to highlight. First of all, if you notice, unfortunately, Jesse did not get his his Adobe Audition recording uh, happening. So if you notice that there's only he doesn't have a Jesse Green on this channel and doesn't have his guest on this channel. So what has happened is that because Jesse has had a backup plan, which is his backup in call recorder, what I've managed to do is take his backup and then create an MP3 from that and then import that MP3 into Adobe Audition. Now the issue here is that if you notice a couple of things, that there are changes in waveform. Like just to expand this out, if you notice that there's a change in waveform. This is obviously low volume, and then you have this high volume. Now there are a couple of things with this, which is extremely difficult, makes it extremely difficult to edit. First of all, the biggest issue is that they're not on separate channels. So they're not recorded separately, which means the way you should see it is this part here, which is obviously Jesse's guest, needs to be on your Skype channel 2, Skype guest channel, and Jesse's waveform should be on this channel. So in that time, this part should be blank. Now that's problem number one. Problem number two is that Jesse's guest is so loud. It's clipping. It's all these waveforms are clipping off the top, and Jesse's voice is really soft here. So let me play this for you, and I'll switch Hardlimiter off, and I'll tell you why Hardlimiter is so important. So if you notice, when I'm playing Jesse's stuff, it's clipping way past this point here, and it's just going way past that point. But so you notice how loud Jesse's guest Nove is when you have that happening. Now I've added a hard limiter as an effect here, and I'll switch it on and I'll show you the difference. Now let me play that part again. So if you notice, the thing, there's one main thing that happened. The main thing that happened is both Jesse and the guest have clipped at -3 decibels, which is about good listening volume, right? Now that has happened with adding a hard limiter to your master file or your master effect down the bottom here. But the problem is, now if you notice, Jesse's guest is using a headphone, so every time he's moving, all that stuff is being recorded on both channels, so on Jesse's channel and on his channel as well. So it's very difficult to remove that. In fact, it's practically impossible to remove that. Let me play that again. So if you listen to that very carefully, and if you want to go back and play that part again, you'll notice that even when Jesse's talking, you can hear his guest breathing. Now, all that kind of stuff can be removed if it was recorded on separate channels. So this is just a quick video to highlight a couple of things. One, make sure that your volume and your guest volume are around about the same waveform. So if you're all recording and it's all the recording is about this height, about this height, that's cool. Leave that as that is, and make sure your guest is also roughly about the same height. If you want that to be a little, if it's a bit louder, that's fine. It's just make sure that this whole recording is about the same waveform height when you're recording. So before you hit record, before you start the interview, make sure that's there. Also make sure that you record on 2 separate channels, all via podcast, and broadcast your message, students know how to record on separate channels. So just make sure that that is happening before you start your interview, because it's better to get it right at that point than to fix it later on, because it's extremely difficult to fix it after that, or in fact almost impossible. But thanks for listening, and I hope you guys got value out of this video.